one of the jobs I had, I think this was like late, like mid to late 80s. I'm not sure exactly when I worked there. I wasn't there for a very long time. It was 6 months, it was less than a year. And it was a time when, finding a job was tough and stuff, and I took what I could get. And it's like I was the accountant for, like the lead accountant. I don't know what my name, yeah, it was director of finance or something like that. It was for an eyeglass distributor. And, it's like, it's amazing the markup on eyeglass frames, so, but that's, I learned a lot about that when I was working there. So it's like the accounting was like, the guy that I replaced left, and he was, unfortunately, if I remember right, he had AIDS and he was not doing well, and he left, the poor guy. And anyway, he so I took his place, and he had, when he was working there, the workload was just ridiculously too much. It was too much for one person to handle. It was like just an overload. And actually, at some point, I had a temp come in and help me with catch up work and just to keep up with the load. It's like the all the accounting and stuff. And I did have a staff. It's like I had, I think, two people working for me. So it's two like staff accountant people, and then I don't remember their names. And then I had, let's see. So I worked there. It's like I remember having the temp, and he was really good. He came from some agency. He was really good, and it got to, it's like when I left, I gave them notice and everything, but they weren't very happy with me leaving and stuff. But it's like I just wanted to kind of get out of there. Um, it was just, one of the odd things I remember about being there, because I don't remember a lot of details about it, but it's like I remember dyeing my hair one time, and I came in, and it didn't, it was, I guess I needed a second bottle or something, so it did a crappy job. So when I walked in, the one woman's, it's like, and she looks at me and I go, yeah, I know. It's like, but that's one of the things I remember about it. But it was one of the, jobs that's like kind of like in some ways forgettable, and it's like, and it's just, it's like a lot of my jobs, companies I worked for, I lots of times didn't feel like I was really appreciated, and I think that was one of them. They did. They did have somebody else, that they hired for some of their like stupid job that's like doesn't really have a workload, much of a workload at all, and she was like in a adjoining office across from me, it's like, and it's like, and she figured out that it's like what I, it's like the problem with me is like, it's like, I didn't feel appreciated, which I didn't, I felt like I wasn't appreciated there. And, but, her, I was kind of like, it's like, you're not even freaking ass doing anything, you're hardly doing any work at all. You're on the phone chatting and stuff. And it's like, it's like, come on, it's like you're getting paid. And she was probably getting paid as much as I was for not really doing much of anything. And then we had this giant workload. And that's kind of like, unfortunately, with accounting, that's kind of, lots of times companies don't really appreciate the accountants and stuff that work there. And I think it's, because it's like they just look like they're necessary evil or something. But they keep the place going. That's what accountants do. We keep the place going. And that's it for the eyeglass distributor, and I don't remember the name of it. I forgot it years ago.